Have you ever stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, some of the most ordinary tools we have are actually hiding a superpower? Well, today we're going to talk about one of my favorites, the humble bolt cutter. This thing can turn your regular human effort into something, well, something kind of superhuman. Yeah, you heard that right. We're not just looking at a tool for, cutting bolts. We are talking about a device that gives you an everyday superpower. It's a real-world force multiplier, probably sitting in a garage or a toolbox near you right now, just waiting to turn normal strength into super strength. So that's the big question, isn't it? How in the world can a simple hand tool just snap through solid hardened metal? You squeeze two handles and a thick padlock shackle just gives way. It almost feels like it shouldn't be possible, but it is, all thanks to a really elegant principle in physics. And that secret ingredient, it's not magic, it's pure physics. The key that unlocks this whole superpower is a concept called mechanical advantage. And trust me, once you understand this, you'll start seeing it absolutely everywhere. Okay, so let's get the official professor-like definition out of the way first. Mechanical advantage is, quote, a measure of the force amplification achieved by using a tool. Basically, it's a number that tells you how much a tool is juicing up the force you put into it. But let's ditch the textbook talk for a second. In simple terms, all this really means is that it's the science of getting a huge result from a tiny little bit of effort. And the bolt cutter? Oh, it's an absolute masterclass in this principle. So let's start with your standard basic bolt cutter. When you strip it all down, it's really just a clever lever system. It all boils down to some pretty simple geometry that, as you're about to see, has some massive consequences. Okay, now this is where the magic really happens. Look at these numbers. The handles where you put in your effort are long, let's say 60 centimeters. But the jaws, where the cutting happens, they're tiny, maybe just 2 centimeters long. And that huge difference in distance, that's the whole secret. So what does that get you? Well, you just divide the long handle length by the short jaw length, 60 divided by 2, and you get the mechanical advantage. And in this case, it's a whopping 30 times. Every little bit of squeeze you put in gets magnified 30-fold. So let's make this real. Imagine you squeeze the handles with just 22 pounds of force. I mean, that's not much at all, right? It's like lifting a small bag of groceries, a totally normal amount of effort. But here's the payoff. Thanks to that 30x multiplier, your modest 22 pounds of force absolutely explodes at the jaws with 660 pounds of cutting power. That is more than enough force to cleanly snap right through a piece of solid metal. That is your superpower right there in action. Okay, but what if we could do even better? What if we could take that multiplication and multiply it again? Well, that's exactly what happens in a more advanced tool, the compound bolt cutter. It adds a second pivot, and that changes everything. See, the genius here is that the tool basically does the math twice. Your initial squeeze is amplified by the first set of levers, but then that already boosted force becomes the input for a second set of levers, which multiplies it a second time. It's incredible. Now, with one of these bigger 36-inch compound cutters, you might have to put in a little more work, let's say 56 pounds of force. But, that's still something an average person can totally manage. And for that little bit of extra effort, the result is just astronomical. That 56 pounds gets compounded and unleashes 4,500 pounds of force at the jaws. 4,500 pounds. That is over 2 tons of cutting force. It is an unbelievable feat of engineering. So look, the big takeaway here isn't just about bolt cutters. This idea, mechanical advantage, is one of the most powerful and fundamental secrets in all of engineering. It's the hidden logic behind so many tools and machines we rely on every single day. So let's just recap what we figured out. We learned that, physics can basically give us superpowers. We learned that the secret is mechanical advantage, which is all about turning small efforts into huge forces. We saw how longer handles and extra pivots could just dramatically ramp up that power. And really, we saw that this one simple idea is a true cornerstone of modern engineering. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Now that you're in on the secret of the lever, start looking for it. When you're out in the world, look at a pair of pliers, or a wheelbarrow, or even a simple bottle opener. Where else do you see this everyday superpower at work? I guarantee you, it's everywhere.